So I wanted to talk to any of the women out there that had to take their, in a sense, womanhood away, either due to medical issues or due to whatever the case may be. Our sacral chakra, our blessing of being able to bring children into this world is a sacred thing. And no matter what belief you follow, no matter what religion you follow, it is something that all women hold dear, that they are able to do that. And now that my focus is no longer so much on the pain, it's now more on the psychological end of feeling the loss of having my femininity taken away. Now, I didn't ask for any of this to happen. I didn't ask for the medical issues. I do have to say, to go back a little bit, everything happens for a reason. And I had my first son at a very young age, and then years later had my second. And I have always been, through my healing journey that I have been practicing and focusing on over the years, I've learned that I, for very much of my life, was a people pleaser and put others' needs above my own. And I'm not saying that your children don't come first, because they do. In my eyes, they come first, whether you asked for them or you didn't. It is a responsibility that was given to you by a higher power that knew that it was meant for that time in your life. That's my belief. So my oldest is 21 and my youngest is 8. So for most of my life, from being a teenager into my adulthood, I have the label and responsibility and blessing of being a mother. And I would never take anything back, and I would never change anything for the world. I love them both dearly, and they're everything to me. But there was a point in my life a couple of years ago that I started to realize this people-pleasing aspect of myself, that I would put other people's emotions and feelings and thoughts and everything above myself, even if it affected me, even if it bothered me, even if it hurt me. So this has nothing to do with your children and putting them aside or putting them beneath you. They always, in my eyes, always come first, no matter what. They learn from us. So the example that we place upon them is the example they're going to use in their life when they get older, as they get older. And pretty much for much of my life, my self-care, my self-love, my self-awareness, my faith even was pushed to the back burner. I wasn't focusing on that. I wasn't putting that time into myself and into faith. I was legitimately just going through the motions of surviving every single day. Not that my life is horrible in any way, shape, or form. There's a lot of great things in my life. But the concept of it is the fact that we, people pleasers, forget to care for themselves, whether it's mentally, physically, and when your main priority are others, you forget about yourself. So at some point in my life a couple of years ago, crap hit the fan. I really started to go down a rabbit hole of spirituality and realization, and that's where my spirituality became confirming to me, what spoke to me, the gifts that I've had since I was little, that now I am old enough to, educate myself on these things, to practice and become stronger with these gifts. And for that, when that time frame hit and my world seemed to be upside down with everything that was going on, it also opened my eyes to the fact that I needed to start caring about myself. I needed to start loving myself. I needed to start recognizing who I am as a person, because yes, I'm a mom. Yes, I'm a wife. Yes, I'm a sister. Yes, I'm a daughter. Those are all labels, but what am I? And this is the stuff that I started to vaguely come into realization, but honestly, since my hysterectomy, it's all I can think about. I have to grieve the loss of my physical uterus. My sacral chakra has had a situation go on there, and I have to remind myself that it is not based off of a physical thing. That had to happen in order to heal me. And what's funny is I'm on a healing journey. I'm learning things every day about my life, about my past, about myself, about my inner child, about my soul, about my faith. And you always wind up in situations where you want to ask why. And I did for the longest time. But again, like I said in the beginning, I always put others above myself. And yes, my children will always come first. I will always put them above me. I will do whatever I have to do to make sure that my children are safe and well and loved unconditionally. But I also have to find a balance of loving myself. I have to find the balance of stepping away and making time for myself. And I didn't do that for years of my life. And with this happening, it's here I'm feeling like I lost my feminine abilities, my feminine power internally, spiritually, because it was taken from me. But I don't believe that's the case. I believe that because I've put so much time into so many other people and never myself, this was done to make me focus on the idea and the aspect of not putting time into myself, not giving myself self-love and self-care, and not being able to be self-aware of myself and what was going on with me. So again, no matter what, my kids come first, but I am learning that there are moments that you have to take time for yourself, even if that's just resting, coloring, writing, drawing, going shopping for the day, spending the day with somebody that you're close with without your children, because you also need a little bit of me time. It's very important to hold that relationship with yourself, to know your worth. You don't know your worth if you're lost and you don't know who you are. And that's become a big thing and a big realization in my life over the years. And it's funny because they say that you're drawn to certain things when you're aware of certain things. And for quite a while, I did make it apparent and pretty much known, like, I'm going to sit and read this book for a little bit. I'm going to sit and make a wreath. I'm going to, like, these are the things that I enjoyed doing for myself. And I was pretty much making sure I was putting that time in. Nobody was affected by it. There wasn't any time lost in the process with anyone else. It was just putting that little bit of self-care and self-love into myself because it's needed. And so many of us put ourselves last. And I'm coming to the realization of that.